folks, many of us know Michael Avenatti as the lawyer representing adult film star Stormy Daniels. He is now also seriously running for the Democratic nomination for president. But an interview that he did with Time magazine is causing huge stir on social media, where they quoted him as saying the following: "I think it better to be a white male," talking about in 2020. When you have a white male making the arguments, they carry more weight. Should they carry more weight? Absolutely not. But do they? Yes. Joining us right now via phone is Michael Avenatti. Michael, welcome to Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Thanks for having me. How are you?
Great. First and foremost, this article that ran in Time magazine, when did this interview take place?
For the last.
Okay, Michael, you're breaking up there. Okay, do you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
yeah,
now I can hear you. So when did this interview take place?
No, the interview took place over the last few months in various points in time.
So this was a profile being done on you, so there were multiple interviews.
Correct.
Do you recall if the interview was recorded or notes were only taken?
You know, at various points in time, I believe it was recorded, and I believe that, notes were taken at other points in time.
So when they quote you as saying, when it comes to 2020, I think it better be a white male, did you say that or not?
Look, I want to be really clear about this. I was misquoted, and it was taken out of context. If you look at, I've given the same speech about 50 times across this country, 15 different states. I've been really clear about my position as it relates to racism, bigotry, and sexism. And my position is as follows. Too many of my brothers that are white males have taken the easy way out over the years. We haven't stepped up and supported African Americans, minorities, women, etc. We have allowed this fight to be their fight alone, and we have not stepped up and supported them. And I have been consistent across this country. You can go on YouTube. You can look at speech after speech after speech. So when it comes time for the 2020 election, my point is really clear and simple. We need more white males to step up and defend minority groups and people of color, period.
But I'm going to ask you again, as it relates to this particular statement here, that in the context of the 2020 nomination, did you say, or what was, you said taken out of context, what was the context of, I think it better be a white male?
The context was in connection with the 2020 nomination relating to delivering the message concerning racism and bigotry that has been sowed by Donald Trump and others within the Republican Party, period. I think there's a number of people that can win the nomination. I don't think it's a big number. I want to be clear about that. But I do not think it has to be a white male. It could be a woman. It could be a person of color. It could be a Hispanic. It could be a minority. But I think above all else, it's going to have to be somebody that is a fighter that can take the fight to Donald Trump.
So you're saying that when the quote says, I think it better be a white male, are you saying, I just want to be clear, you're saying that within the context of that, you were saying that it needs to be a white male who is talking about issues of race and racism as it relates to Donald Trump?
Well, I mean, I think any number of people can talk about those issues, but my point is as follows. I think that more white males need to call out white males relating to bigotry and racism in the United States. And look, I mean, this is what I believe. I think that too many people that look like me have taken a back seat. They've stood on the sidelines. They've stood against the wall. And they've allowed these ideas of racism and others, or racism and other issues to be the fight of people of color, minorities, and others.
So Michael,
it can't be their it can't be their fight alone.
So explain this. They write, he hastens to add that he wishes it weren't so, but it's undeniable that people listen to white men more than they do others. Henry, go to my iPad, please. It's why he's been successful representing Daniels and immigrant mothers, he says. Quote, when you have a white male making the arguments, they carry more weight, he says. Should they carry more weight? Absolutely not. But do they? Yes. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, let me explain that. No, let me explain that, because again, I want to be really clear about this. That was taken out of context. When you have a white male that calls out other white males for being racist, yes, I think that that's powerful. Absolutely. Be clear. That's what I'm talking about when it refers to when you have a white male step up and make these statements. Absolutely. I think it's important for more white males like myself to call out other white males for being racist. Absolutely, I believe that, and I believe that's powerful. I believe that we need more people around the country that look like me to do that. I mean, look, let's be frank. Donald Trump rose to power because he convinced 2/3 of the people that look like me, right, white males, that our success depended on minorities and women and people of color, and our success depended on them being marginalized. That's not right. We need more white males like me to speak out against that.
So I'm going to read this, Michael. This is what I've got the Time Magazine article up, and this is what they wrote. Here's what Avenatti told Time in an interview on June 25th in New York City, before he began publicly considering a presidential run. They say the question was, is there anybody that you like in the Democratic political class? Or do you think the 2020 nominee should be someone from outside politics? Time Magazine says that was the question. They say your answer was, I think it better be a white male. Then they said, really? Then they said, you said 100%. And I don't say that because I want it to have to be a white male. I say that because of just the realities of the situation. I think if the Democratic nominee, anyone other than a white male at the top of the ticket, they're going to lose the election. And so I'm reading, and so as I read this again, and then it says, I'd be willing to bet anything. I feel highly confident in that, and it shouldn't be that way for this election. Question. But just because the electorate is too racist and sexist, they say because of where the electorate lines up and where Trump's strengths lie, I think if you nominate, then they went on. So Time Magazine says they're standing by their article, and they're saying that your comment about, I think it better be a white male, was a specific response to their question. Are you saying that Time Magazine is wrong?
Look, I've answered the question. I've been very, very clear about this. Look at over 50 speeches I've given across the country. I mean, again, I don't know how I can be more clear in what I've already said. I stand behind everything that I have said. People can go on YouTube. They can look at exactly. No. Let me just finish.
No, go ahead.
They can go on YouTube. They can go on YouTube and look at what I have said consistently. Okay, I am confident that your viewers, listeners, etc., agree with what I'm saying. More white guys need to step up and call out white guys. Period. I've been consistent about this.
But Michael, here's the issue though. I'm a journalist. I've been one since I was 14 years old. Time says that this was an interview and exchange back and forth. I don't know if this interview was recorded, so therefore, that way none of us can actually hear the context and the nuance of the conversation. But what Time Magazine has posted on their website, time.com, they have posted what they say is a direct question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. And what I'm asking you is, are you saying...
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I can't comment on it.
Okay.
No, wait a minute.
No. Hold on, Michael. I'm going to finish my question. I'm going to finish my comment. Then you can go ahead and answer. So, again, and I'll send you the link so you can actually see it as well, and that's fine. But what if you say that they got this wrong, then what are you going to do next? Are you going to ask them to produce the recording?
Look, I haven't decided what I'm going to do next. But what I've done next is you asked me to come on your show.
Yes.
I did not hesitate. I immediately said I would come on your show. I'd be happy to answer your questions, which I am answering. I'm answering your questions.
Right.
So look, go back and look what I've said consistently for the last 4 or 5 months. Okay. The bottom line here is, and again, I think I gave the first speech in July or June of this year. And I've given the same speech across the country. I've said the same thing. I have called out other white males relating to the fact that they've taken the easy way out and have not done what they should do in connection with calling out racism, bigotry, and sexism across this country.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. I would love for Time Magazine, if you said that you were taking, because look, I totally understand. I've seen folks who have been taken out of context. I've also seen people who said they were taken out of context. They actually were in context. I would hope that Time Magazine would release a recording of the conversation. I've sent via DM to you the link of their actual story, so you can actually see what they have posted on their website, and then hopefully this will be clarified and cleared up.
Let me ask you a couple questions.
Yes.
Let me ask you a couple questions. Who do you think is best positioned to beat Donald Trump in 2020, assuming the economy stays where it is?
Sure. First of all, right now, there's no one person you can argue right now who's best positioned, because if you go back to 2007, I'm answering.
The likely candidate.
No, Michael, here's the deal. I'm answering your question. In 2007, in February 2007, in Springfield, Illinois, when I was there freezing my butt off when Obama announced he was running for president, the reality is from February through August of 2007, he was 20 points down to Hillary Clinton. He was down among African Americans. Everything changed for him at a debate in Iowa when she screwed up the question about illegal immigrants getting driver's licenses. The entire race changed. The reality is this here, and I've been saying this for 2 years. To get the best candidate, they have to run. Who do I think is going to be there? I do believe Vice President Joe Biden. I know a former Attorney General Eric Holder is looking at it. I know Senator Kamala Harris is running. Senator Elizabeth Warren is going to run. Senator Bernie Sanders is going to run. I do believe that potentially you're going to have former New Orleans Mayor Mitch Landrieu also run for president as well. I can't say right now who can beat Donald Trump because they haven't gone.
My question is different. No. Let's have an honest discussion.
Go ahead.
My question's different. I want to push back for a minute.
Go ahead.
Let's assume that it's October 2020, not October 2018. You and I both know who's likely to run. So let's fast forward. It's October 2020. The environment is the same. The economy is the same. I'd like you to tell me right now who is the best person that has the best opportunity to beat Donald Trump of the likely candidates, and we can include everybody you just stated.
Here's why you can't answer that question and why it makes no sense. Because the two top Republicans who they said stood the best chance of beating Hillary Clinton were Tim Pawlenty, governor of Minnesota, and Scott Walker, governor of Wisconsin. And guess who were the first two candidates to drop out? Tim Pawlenty and Scott Walker. This is what I know, Michael, and I've been doing politics my whole life. The rigors of a campaign are different than sitting here looking at a sheet of paper. A person can give a speech in 2018, and oh my God, they sound great, they sound wonderful, they're a fighter, but when they get in the ring, they get their behinds kicked. I can tell you, Michael, that Fred Thompson had all the attributes. Another Ronald Reagan. Tall, strong senator from Tennessee. He ran one of the sorriest campaigns in history. And so the question really can't be, Michael, I'm here. So the reason the question can't be answered is because until a person goes through the rigors of a campaign, then you never see how they fare under the stress and stand the test of that sort of rigorous deal. Everybody looks great right now. Like Mike Tyson said, Michael, everybody got a game plan until they get hit first.
No. Listen, I don't disagree with that. All I'm saying is, let's just assume that everything was the same in 2020 as it is right now. I want you to tell me your pick. Tell me the person, please. Tell me the person that you think has the best shot right now.
Michael, and I'm going to say to you again, and I gave you 3 names already who all the people, including me, I thought Scott Walker, out of all the Republicans, stood the best chance in October of 2015 of running against Hillary Clinton. He was the second one to drop out after Tim Pawlenty. So that's my point. So it doesn't make sense saying, who do I think today, until the person goes through the rigors. Michael, I've hired people who I thought could be an anchor. I hired one, and you know what? On paper, she was great. In the interview, she was awesome. Everybody loved her. You know what happened the first day she went on the air? She sucked. We took her off 5 days later.
No, look, I hear you, and I think you make a good point.
So until you go through the fight, you don't know. So all I'm saying is you got to go through the battle to see who can survive the war.
Look, and you know what? I don't disagree with that, but here's my point, okay? There's a lot of people that are going to run, and they'd make a great president, and they'd make a far better president than I would, but they've got no shot of beating Donald Trump.
Well, actually,
and if the Democrats nominate,
Michael, you're actually wrong. Because if you study the math, I understand your point. But, Michael, I'll give you an example. Donald Trump won Florida in 2016, correct?
Correct.
There's a ballot initiative in Florida that's likely to get passed that's gonna give voting rights to 1.6 million formerly incarcerated. If that initiative passes on November 6th, Florida is completely changed. Donald Trump cannot go into Florida yelling law and order because that means 1.6 million eligible people right now living will have the right to vote. Florida could flip overnight if a Democrat runs a strong criminal justice reform plan. If they even pick up 25% of those 1.6 million, they destroy the Republicans. So
let me tell you
switches.
Something. From your lips to God's from your lips to God's ears, I hope you're 100% right. I think that would be a phenomenal thing for Democrats.
It's
There's
polling
no
at 72% right now.
I will just tell you, I've spent a lot of time traveling around the country. I've spent a lot of time in a lot of key electoral states over the last 2 to 3 months. This guy, unfortunately, Donald Trump, is not to be underestimated.
I agree.
And whatever the Democrats do, look, whatever the Democrats do, whether it's someone of color, whether it's Hispanic, whether it's somebody that's white, whether it's male, whether it's female, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they have to nominate somebody that has the best shot of beating Donald Trump. That's all I'm saying.
Last thing, Michael, and I'm just saying, and the reason I reached out to you, I know you've been traveling around the country, but this story right here, Michael, is a problem. Right now, and when I say it's a problem, there's no group. Republicans told me that with Reince Priebus sitting right next to me, saying that there's no group that hates Republicans more than black women. And this comment, Michael, the Times reporting, is not going to go over well with black women. And all I'm saying,
well, let me just say something.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know.
And look, and I'm just telling you something. When I travel around the country, okay, African men and women are very, very supportive of my potential candidacy. And let me tell you why. Because I'm a fighter. And because they want a fighter, because they've had to fight for every damn thing they've ever had in their lifetime. So I have to tell you,
hey, Michael,
across this country, wait a minute, let me just finish. Across this country, I have enjoyed and been honored and humbled by the amount of success, the amount of support that I've had among African American men and women.
Michael, I hear you, but I want you to follow me. I've run 3 black newspapers. This is my 11th black media experience. Many people call me the voice of black America. And I'm telling you right now, this Time article is going to be a problem for you, especially Senator Kamala Harris, Senator Cory Booker, Deval Patrick, former governor of Massachusetts, and former Attorney General Eric Holder, all considering running. And the reason I want you to come on to explain this, because either Time magazine is going to have to release the recording, they're standing by it, but I'm just letting you know, this is not going to go over well with black people. And
I'm not. Look.
I'm just letting you know. And guess what? You can't even get close to the nomination without black people. Ask Senator Bernie Sanders when he ignored black people for 6 months.
Whoa. Have I ever suggested otherwise?
No. What I'm saying is, when you said, who do you think is going to be the person to beat Donald Trump? We need a fighter. Let's be honest. You want to be that guy. You do. And
I haven't decided. Listen. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I've been really clear about this. My life would be a lot easier if I did not do this. Okay.
I understand.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you what I believe. Okay. In 2020, we have an enormous amount at stake in this nation. We're talking about a fight for the republic. The Democrats can't screw this up.
I agree.
Democrats better nominate. The Democrats better nominate somebody that can beat Donald Trump. Period. That is the absolute goal. You don't get a chance to govern unless you win.
I agree.
Let's be clear about that.
I agree. All I'm saying, Michael, is this is going to be a problem with black folks. And I'm saying I asked you, what are you going to do next? You should be saying to Time Magazine, if they misquoted you, release the recording to show it, because the way people are seeing this is you saying it better be a white man in 2020.
Well, you know what? I disagree, because a lot of African American men and women have reached out to me this afternoon.
Michael, brother, I'm serious. I just want to let you know, between me and you, who knows black people? Michael, I'm just letting you know, bro.
I
know black people, and I know black politics, and I know how things roll. And the reality is, after 8 years of Obama, and black people actually see the potential of another black president, I'm just saying it's not going to go over well. But go ahead with your final comment, please.
Look, I don't care if it's someone that's black, that's white, that's male or female or Hispanic. I could care less, as long as they can beat Donald Trump.
All right. Michael Avenatti, hope this won't be the last time on Roland Martin Unfiltered. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.